This is Jonathan Agler, Fit for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Savage Dan here at a big announcement. Joshua Buatsi has signed with Boxer and Sky. Dan, first of all, how do you enjoy doing the presses?
Mate, I'd prefer if I got a bit more notice, if I'm honest. Now, I enjoy it. It's just, do you know what? I don't really get nervous for things, which is probably why I mess things up and I almost don't really care sometimes. You know, there was a point there, I'm sure I said he's a cruiserweight, and I just said, actually, probably going to end up a cruiserweight. Yeah, no, I enjoy doing it. It's just a chat, you know. Sometimes it's not as I'm never going to be able to do it the Adam Smith way. He is the best at that, and you know, the more stern kind of solid way. I'm the more conversational one, I guess. They don't even get the tables out. We just sit on stools and we have a chat. Easy.
You're the Savage Dan way. So Dan, obviously Buatsi is right behind you. First of all, he made quite a few references to not being on an app, presumably talking about DAZN, and now on Sky. What did you make of some of the comments he made?
I think it's his truth. You know, I think everyone who has even half an eye on British boxing at the moment will know that you can't compete with the profile that you get from being on Sky Sports. It is as simple as that. I personally have DAZN. I have DAZN because I want to be able to keep my eye on absolutely everything. I'm a fan of boxing. It doesn't matter whether it's, you know, whether it's a boxer show, whether it's a BT show, whether it's a Southland. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to watch it. But I'm one of, I think, quite a few people that are dedicated boxing fans. There's not, you know, you don't generally get the general public. So yeah, it's obviously a lot harder to build traction and get attention on yourself when you are on an app than if you are on channel 401. It's common sense. I'm not sure if it wasn't malicious. It's just his truth.
The thing that fans will be saying though is that although the exposure might be better, the big fights that Ben and you guys were talking about, the world title fights, even the Yarde fight, surely those aren't that realistic anymore, are they?
Why isn't the Yarde fight realistic? BT and Sky do business all the time, you know. There's not a bad relationship there. Yes, maybe it pushes the Bivol fight a little bit further away, but he was offered the Bivol fight already and said no, and that is because things weren't on his terms. I think he wants to be in control of his destiny, and he doesn't want to make a one-fight decision that potentially keeps him in a particular position for longer than he wants to be in. So, look, it was his decisions to make. You know, he had the option. He had the pick of everyone. You know, there would have been absolutely everybody trying to have conversations with him, trying to sign him, trying to you know, get him to commit to their promotion. And he's picked here, and he's picked it for a reason. Whether it's nothing to do with, you know, Dan Aziz. Him and Dan Aziz are good friends. You know, he would never join Boxer because, oh yeah, I get to fight Dan Aziz. But down the stretch, I guarantee everyone who's maybe criticizing his decision will be like, oh, actually, it makes a lot of sense. And it doesn't have to make sense to them, or you or me. It just has to make sense to him.
I mean, regardless, that Dan Aziz fight is still a good fight, and you know, would have a European title potentially on the line. Is that a fight you want to see though?
I want to see him fight everyone, and I'm a boxing fan, as I said, so I want to see everyone fight everyone. I'm a little bit bored now of the Cold War. I like the fact that we are working with other promoters. I like the fact that we're going to Poland, and we were in Paris the other day, and we can't always do things completely on our terms, and we have to play ball when it's time to play ball. So I like the fact that that we are willing to work with people, and we're willing to be flexible, and it's not all about us. And Ben Shalom has to be a little bit more fluid than maybe he would not necessarily like to be, because he wants this as well. You know, he wants to do, our job is to do the best by the fighters, get them the biggest exposure, the biggest fights, and the most achievements in the least possible time and the least possible hassle, and that's what we're trying to do.
Just want to get your opinion on a few other topics in boxing. Kell Brook has been in the news, and Conor Benn going back and forth. Kell Brook said that Ben pulled out of their sparring. I don't know if you've seen those comments. What do you make of, I guess, that?
I haven't seen that. Not sure what to make of it. That's recent?
Yeah, Brook said that they were meant to do 10 rounds and Ben pulled out after 8.
Oh, he pulled out? I thought he meant pulled out, didn't even turn up to the gym. H did a good number, I'll be honest.
Is that a fight you want to see?
Well, that's 100%. I'd love to see that fight. I want to see any of those fights that when you say them, we're like, oh, you know, whether it's Eubank Kell Brook, whether it's Liam Smith Kell Brook, I want to see good fights. They don't even all have to be made by us. It would be great if we can make them all, but some fights we can't make. I still want to see them, 100%. Kell Brook, Conor Benn is a fight I'd watch, but we'd want to have Kell Brook on our promotion as well, which means we'll do everything we can to come up with a fight that's better than that fight.
And then obviously Fury and Usyk. Usyk has accepted 30% of the split. Tony Bellew said that he's getting lowballed basically with that. Do you agree?
Yeah, it's a definite lowball. He's got 3 of the belts. That's a super low ball. But I think perhaps we're going off numbers, you know, I know Tyson Fury's earned a hell of a lot in his career, probably considerably more than what Usyk has. He probably will sell more tickets and do what he is the bigger man. I'm not sure if he's 70-30 the bigger man, but Usyk's called his bluff. Here, have the 70. We all know how complicated these contracts are and where the rematch clauses will be and what this will stipulate, and I just want to see the fight. You know, 70-30 only makes a difference to Team Usyk and Team Fury. It doesn't make a difference to me. I just want to see the fight.
Is that the bigger point? You know, when the fight comes around, casual fans don't care about who's getting what money, or
it's interesting for storylines for those that care about it. We have to remember that a lot of people that watch fights aren't dedicated boxing fans. They don't care that much about the lives of the fighters. If there is a story and they pick it up somehow, then they'll become interested in it. But I don't think they're overly worried about purses. And yes, they might come across the information, but I don't think that's for us dedicated boxing fans that we're like, whoa, this, that. You know, most people won't worry about that. They want to see the best fight the best so that they can figure out who the best is.
I'm going to tie in the next question in a link to a boxer show. So obviously if you're a Fury fan and this fight gets signed, SugarHill Steward is training Lawrence Okoli for the fight against David Light in a couple of weeks. So he's not here, I believe. He's in America. Is that a concern that SugarHill isn't like in Fury's camp yet?
No, I think that the date is, I think there's enough time there. We also have to remember just how much of an anomaly Tyson Fury is. He could probably do this on his own. He's definitely improved under SugarHill, but he is that good now, and he is that long in the tooth. He's fought pretty much every style. He's done it every single way. I don't think he'll be concerned with. I mean, what's the date? Is that 29th of April?
So they're talking about 29th of April. Usyk's manager said if it goes beyond 29th, that the split should be 50-50.
This is the thing, you know, look at these contracts. He said should be 50-50, you know, it's not a contract, it's just what he thinks. My guess is that it does go into May. April 29th is a good day. I still think you'd have enough time. That's 5 weeks with SugarHill. I think, look, it's for Tyson Fury to decide how long he needs SugarHill in his camp for, but you know, it's only a couple of weeks now till May 25th. Less than a couple of weeks, 10 days or so. So I'm pretty sure Tyson Fury will make his decision on what he thinks. But look, SugarHill is one of the most in-demand coaches in the world. We're gonna get this. You know, he's gonna have to train one for one camp and one for the other, but we'll see.
Final question, Dan. A couple of weeks till Anthony Joshua returns against Franklin. Do you agree with people who say that if he loses, that could be it?
In returns of he retires, I don't think Anthony Joshua will do anything that anyone I think the more you tell him, nah, it's over, the bigger his chip on his shoulder and the more likely he is to fight on anyway. I think he just needs to get in there and try and get a performance out. You know, his last fight was a good performance. It just happened to be against one of the most awkward and well-skilled boxers that he has ever faced. So it was a difficult night. Losing 2 on a trot always looks worse than it probably is. But you know, he's lost them both on points, and he maybe just got tactics wrong, or maybe he didn't. Maybe Usyk's just one of those, just someone who's wrong for him. But I think he beats Franklin. I would like to see a more aggressive version of Joshua. I'm sure that's what he's trying to become now in camp, and we'll see.
Savage Dan, really appreciate your time. Anything you want to add on what boxers have got coming up and things like that?
No, just stay locked in. We are coming for absolutely everybody. We want to make the best fights. We want to welcome people, but we want to make sure that the fans win. Simple.